I'm SenStanRosenberg, the new Senate President.
And I'm Senator BruceTarr, Minority Leader of the Massachusetts Senate.
And I'm State Senator Michael Rodrigues, Chair of the Massachusetts Conversations Tour. Over the next few weeks and months, you'll be hearing about a series of statewide forums that the Massachusetts Senate will be holding in every corner of our Commonwealth.
These forums are part of an effort to make your government even more accessible and more responsive to you. We'll be listening to what you have to say and working hard to make sure we carry your voices and your ideas back here to Beacon Hill.
As I said a few weeks ago in my address to the Senate, the best ideas are often found not within these halls, but in our neighborhoods and in our coffee shops, in our boardrooms, in union halls, in our office break rooms, and at our family tables. So that's where we'll be over the next few weeks, listening to your ideas and following up on our promise of shared leadership for the people of the Commonwealth.
Listening and bringing them back here to Beacon Hill to inform the work we do on your behalf in the Senate.
To find out where the nearest one is, visit the link right here to enter your zip code and find out where to go. Take a look through our website, tweet us using the hashtag #NAConvos, and most importantly, show up at the Town Hall Forum that we'll be holding next year.
Thanks for listening, and my colleagues and I look forward to seeing you very soon in your neighborhoods.
We decided to just move ahead with our conversation, and we're sorry you're stuck there, Bruce, but you're with us on the phone. Can you hear us?
I can, Stan, and I apologize, but I'm suffering down here with apparently thousands of other people. It's absolutely critical.
Okay, well, we'll try to keep you in the conversation. If you need to, just speak up, and we'll hear that you're trying to speak, and we'll make room for you in the conversation, okay? Great. So thanks for coming in, and I assume that Natasha explained that we're going to be having these kinds of conversations periodically to provide an informal opportunity for communication and building relationships, as well as sharing information. And we'll look forward to working with you in a lot of different venues, including this. So this initiative was developed and grew out of the retreat that the Democratic caucus held shortly after the election. And one of the work groups was on transparency and engagement, as I recall. And Senator Rodrigues was the moderator of that table. And in the course of the conversation, there was a lot of discussion about how successful we had been when we went out and took hearings on the road, when we sent out special committees, and they did listening sessions across the Commonwealth. And the products that came of that were really very strong, ended up with getting very strong bipartisan support, approval by the legislature, and signed by the governor into law. And so the product was excellent, but so was the process, and people got to engage and be a part of helping us identify the best solutions to the problem. And so Senator Rodrigues, as he was facilitating the conversation, jumped in and said, we shouldn't just do it when we had a specific bill or we're trying to identify and solve a specific problem. We should just go out and let people talk and tell us what's on their minds, and we shouldn't be directing the conversation. We should be creating an opportunity for people to talk and for us to listen. And that's where we are. And it clicked, and he was named chair of a one-person committee. So he's essentially the chair of the coordinator, however you want to say it, and he's done a marvelous job. And it also gave us an opportunity to build on the concept that I shared in the remarks on Swearing-In Day, that we were going to be not only working on shared prosperity and opportunity, but we were also going to be working on shared leadership in the Senate. And this has provided an opportunity for every senator to work together with other senators and their staffs, identifying groupings of senators within regions, and then identifying events and activities within their region which would highlight the things of excellence as well as the needs and opportunities for improvement, combined with public forums where people could come and speak on any subject that they wanted. And the first one is tomorrow. And residents out in western Massachusetts. By coincidence, not by plan necessarily, because I guess each group got to suggest what their first, second, and third choice was as to which date. So we'll be visiting a precision manufacturer. We'll be visiting a substance abuse program that's extremely successful, tied to the Hampden County Sheriff's Department. And we'll be doing 2 forums, one in Great Barrington in the morning and one in the evening at Holyoke Community College at the Kittredge Center. And there's one other stop that I'm missing. I don't remember what it is. I'll try to remember. In any event, it's an actualization of our idea of shared leadership inside and civic engagement on the outside by bringing Beacon Hill to main streets all across the Commonwealth. And with that, I'll ask Senator Rodrigues if he would like to offer some additional comments.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. It's been a lot of fun, and we've had a lot of cooperation from all of our colleagues in the Senate. It's really driven by them. The fact that both the Senate President and the Minority Leader have agreed to attend every one of these events and spend the full, the day at every one of these events is something that it's really a big deal. We're excited about, and also something that we realized that could provide logistical issues because both gentlemen are very, very busy. So we identified 8 days where they're both their schedules could accommodate these full day-long events. We divided the Commonwealth up into 8 regions. We've asked all of the senators in those respective regions to put together, for them to take the lead, and for them to put together what they think would be the best places for us to see where we could get the most input from their constituents. We had a few requirements. We asked that the ultimate event of the day in the evening, late afternoon, early evening, 6 to 8 p.m.-ish, it'd be at some sort of venue where we could at least record the event, if not broadcast it live streaming. Tomorrow we actually have 2 public events, as the Senate President said, one early at 10 o'clock in Great Barrington and one later on in the afternoon, early evening at Holyoke Community College. So, we've done this before. I can remember back in 2003 when I was in the House and when I chaired then it was the Committee on Commerce and Labor. And at that time we had a new governor, like we do now. And we know that we have a new change of administration. We have a new Senate President. Things stop moving a little slow. So this is a good opportunity to use our time. At that time, Governor Romney had filed legislation because he claimed that he knew what businesses needed to grow to expand Massachusetts. And we said, well, how do you know? Let's listen. So we had a specific topic on economic development. And out of that, what we heard loud and clear was that the Commonwealth was too difficult of a place to do business in. And out of that came Chapter 43D, the Streamline Permitting Act, that received bipartisan support, almost unanimous support. This time, we really have no agenda. We're just going to listen because I'm sure the issues in the Berkshires are going to be much different than the issues in my region of the South Coast, or up in the Merrimack Valley, or in the South Shore, or in the Pioneer Valley. But if we start hearing a few common themes, and already we're seeing a few common themes, specifically substance abuse and opiate addiction. We're going to, tomorrow we're going to a program in Holyoke or West Springfield maybe, and then I see that Plymouth, we might be making a stop when we go down to Cape and we hit Plymouth, and there's going to be one on the South Coast in my region. So we'll wait to see. Ultimately, the success of this will be measured 2 years from now at the end of this legislative session, where we can look back to see if we actually created, drafted, and passed any public policy as a result of this listening to it.
Right. Mr. Leader, would you like to offer some comments?
I would, Mr. President, thank you. And I would first express my appreciation to you and to Senator Roberts. One day, 40 senators in a listening tour that is going to touch every part of the Commonwealth is an incredible task. And first of all, I appreciate the partnership, Mr. President, and also I appreciate the work that Senator Roberts has done to be able to pull this effort together and make it specific enough to each region that we're going to hear some of the issues that are really affecting that region, but at the same time making it an homogenous enough effort that every senator feels comment that's happening here. And I would point out that I think one of the most notable things for people that are going to come to these and participate in these forums, these conversations, is going to be the sense of bipartisanship. We have that in the Senate, we have it in the Senate chamber. I think folks will get to see it firsthand in their communities. And I think that's an important part of what we need to do to provide leadership. And that's, again, some of what I said in my remarks on Inauguration Day is that we have a task greater than any one issue, and that is to show that we can work together to find common ground and move the Commonwealth forward. And I think this listening tour is going to be a good example of how we can do that, not only when we're under the Golden Dome, but also when we're on the main streets and in the neighborhoods of our communities. I would also suggest that we as Republicans have also done listening tours. We've certainly done them on economic development. The most recent one that I can recall was actually on the technology tax. And we heard loud and clear from folks that that was going to be problematic and brought what we heard in the field back in the State House. Obviously, we were able to change direction, and we're happy that we were able to. But I think there are going to be some common themes, and there may be some things that are common themes that require region-specific approaches, and I think there's room for that. The most important thing here, I think, is that we're at the start of a legislative session, and while there may be some preconceptions, they're not as great as they are when you're in the middle of a legislative session. So we have thousands of bills filed on all manner of topics. They represent different perspectives, different methodologies, different issues. And now, as we do all of our cities as legislators to think about how we're going to address those bills and those issues, we're directly involving the public in a way that I think is unprecedented. So look at them with us and to give us their thoughts, not midstream, not on any particular issue, not with any particular agenda, but with an opportunity to look out at the beginning of this legislative session and say, how together are we going to move forward? And that doesn't mean that there won't be debate and discussion. In fact, that's the very point of this exercise as far as I'm concerned. But it is to say, just as we open the session, looking at everything that's been filed, all the issues, we're asking the public to participate in that exercise with us. And I think it's incredibly empowering if folks choose to take advantage of it, and I hope they will. And I think it also represents tremendous partnership, not only between parties, but between elected officials and the people they represent. And my last thought is that sometimes it may not be as easy for someone in Pittsfield to communicate with me, but my decisions affect their lives as well as other legislators in their area. This gives us an opportunity to hear in each of the regions from people that maybe we wouldn't otherwise hear from, and gives them a chance to see us. So I think the cross-pollinization here of ideas and dialogue is also incredibly powerful, and I'm very appreciative for the opportunity that we've been able to create here, and I look forward to participating with you folks.
Great, thank you, Mr. Leader. And let me just underscore that last point, that we're asking the members to not just be in their region, we're asking them to travel to the other regions so that they can have firsthand experience seeing and meeting some of the people and seeing the situations and circumstances from the points of view of other people in other regions of the Commonwealth, which I think will enhance the lawmaking process. And this is part of the process of setting the priorities in the Senate agenda. Now, we have a lot of information. This will give us additional information and will influence what our priorities will be. For those who can't be there, the website will have a number of opportunities. You can send your testimony in and your comments into the website. They will all be cataloged and read. We hope to be able to post the actual videos of the sessions so that people who are not able to get there, even our own colleagues who might want to see some of the video of hearings in other places and forums, will be able to do so on the website. So that's our story, and we're sticking to it.
So who's going to be videotaping, excuse me?
It's all going to be controlled locally, and
So I would hope that it'd be local cable access.
we've invited different people to do it, and it's up to the senators to find somebody to do it. Nobody's paying for it.
No, well, local cable access can videotape, and then the rest of the state could have that ported all over the state. I want that stated.
I have to run in just a minute. Do you mind if I just ask on a different topic? The governor today talked about something that may become a conversation around the Commonwealth, which is the tax amnesty as a way to help fill the budget hole. How do you view that?
We've done tax amnesty programs successfully. The key here is to make sure that they're not done too often, so that people don't think all I have to do is wait and they'll forgive me. I won't pay the interest and the penalties, and I'll be able to pay my taxes later. It's rarely done and will continue to be rarely done, but it's been done successfully, and I'm assuming that the legislature will be okay with it.
What do you make of the governor's overall budget plan?
We haven't dug down deeply enough to be able to say yet, but it's a combination of revenue and spending cuts, which validates the concern all the way along that this isn't about overspending, it isn't about undertaxing, it's about needing proper balance in our system, and so this is both a revenue and a spending issue as we come to the end of this fiscal year. The budget has to be in balance, and there wasn't enough revenue, and it's not the end of the world. We will be able to balance it because we found some additional revenue, and we'll be doing some cutting.
How quickly would you anticipate this getting to?
Can I interrupt, please? We keep the conversation mostly on the Commonwealth Conversations first, and then the president's happy to answer any other budget-related questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You mean we're going to continue to talk about reform and opening up the process? That's a great idea. Anybody interested in talking about that?
Yeah,
I'll give you one.
what's the message you're trying to send with this? You alluded to it, but
The government belongs to the people. If the people engage, the legislature and the governor will heed. It's our responsibility to provide opportunities for the people to engage. And for too long, we've heard that the building is insular, that you can't get access. And with the advent of modern technology, our ability, because we're such a small state, to get in a car and be anywhere else in Massachusetts within 3 hours from our offices here in the State House, there's no reason for people to think that they don't have access or shouldn't have access to us. And so we're going to open the doors. We're going to get out onto the streets. We're going to be in people's communities. We're going to use social media. We're going to use technology so that they can communicate with us 24/7. Let us know what they're thinking, what their concerns are, so that we can have a more robust conversation with the people we represent.
How do you get ordinary people to these events? And when I say ordinary people, I mean not avoid sort of the trap of just having special interests or activists.
We did the same thing with the redistricting process, and we ended up with 13 hearings across the Commonwealth as compared to 5 10 years earlier, as opposed to 1 or 2 10 years before that. More than 40,000 people communicated with us through our website. 40,000 people aren't the usual organizations and advocacy groups. They were present for sure, but we had people from all over the Commonwealth whose names we had never seen or heard before participating through the website. So by going to the hearings, 4,000 people showed up at the hearings, 400 people testified, and 40,000 or so people communicated through our technology. Mr. Leader?
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to point out as well, and credit here goes to Senator Roberts and the members, the way that these forms are structured, they are not the usual kind of arrangement where sometimes you hear from interest groups at their location only during the day. The way these forms are structured, they're all-day events. And so it affords an opportunity for people who might be working in the morning to be at one of the forums in the afternoon or the evening. It might be the case that they work at night. We're going to be available sometime during the day. So the way that these are constructed to facilitate discussion, I think is very important and very noteworthy. That they aren't a 1 hour time frame, they aren't a 2 hour time frame. They're all day in each region where they're held.
That is certainly a challenge, though. That was a good question, because the challenge is always, immediately upon announcing this the advocacy groups were approaching me, when are the events, where are the events? And we didn't know because we weren't driving the events. They were being created and driven by each regional group of legislators. And I've made it very clear that this is for everyone, anyone. And coming from the South Coast, most of my constituents have never been to the State House. They're so busy working, living, down in 60 miles south of here that they don't get here. So for us to go down to them, to bring Beacon Hill to them, to bring the Senate President, the minority leader, to the South Coast, I'm hoping would attract those individuals that would not normally have access to leadership. It is, as the minority leader said, I think, I, as a legislator from Greater Fall River, the decisions that I make on a regular basis affects people in Great Barrington, affects people in Gloucester, so it's important for us to hear their perspectives.
I'd like to make another comment. I attended two of those, Catch of the Day Video News, CRN News Team. I attended two of those, one in Amesbury and another one. I thought they were awesome. Salem, they were very low key, and I just showed up with my camera and I just did like surround the thing and just didn't do a lot of interviewing, like my style is not interviewing. But I just found that the public it was just so pleasant. It was awesome. A lot of people didn't hear about it, but I think if this idea is promoted, that it will catch on and people will like it.
Thank you. Well, that's why we're doing it. We love interacting with our constituents, and they love having the opportunity.
I believe that, correct me if I'm wrong, I think one of the stops tomorrow is the Western Mass Correctional Alcohol Center,
Yes.
which is under threat through the casino construction.
Yeah.
How committed are you to keeping that open? Do you anticipate that you'll be trying to get state support for keeping that open?
I heard for the first time today that its location was in jeopardy, but the program itself is not in jeopardy. The quality of the program is not in jeopardy. It's just the facility where it is, so we're going to have to learn more and work with the sheriff to try to address the problem.
So the sheriff has said basically that it's going to cost too much to relocate.
Well, we'll have to discuss that with the sheriff and try to understand what the issues and problems are. So I can't respond beyond that because I just don't have the facts.
But what themes or concerns do you anticipate being brought up, like despite the regions?
Well, the cross-cutting themes, as I traveled across the state over about a 17-month period, were things relating to the economy and jobs and people's feeling of income and security. And those are clearly and closely tied together.
Let's talk on this broader theme of openness and transparency about the fact of having us in for this sort of pre-conversation for the Commonwealth Conversations, and Tasha said you're planning to do this somewhat regularly, or on what sort of basis, and what's the thinking behind this?
Yeah, the media play a very important role in our society, and they are one of the primary methods of communicating with the public what is happening in our government. And I don't believe that Ben Franklin was dissing the legislature when he said, if I had to choose in a self-governing society between the legislature and the free press, I'd choose a free press. The point very clearly is people can't make decisions in order to be in a self-governing society and build a strong, robust free market economy if they don't have quality and accurate information. So our intent is to keep lines of communication open in every way possible, and technology presents a wonderful opportunity for us, but the traditional media is also an important part of the picture, and we want to make sure that there's transparency and accessibility in all ways possible so that people will understand what we're doing, hopefully come to increase respect for what we're doing, reduce cynicism, and increase respect for government.
So you do it weekly, or any set idea about this?
We're not going to do it like on a fixed timetable, but we will be doing it regularly as needed in order to communicate what we're working on.
So
I'd imagine that these events around the state are not expensive to hold, but are they going to be paid for through state funds, privately?
So each group is going to will have to speak for itself. I was asked if I would contribute $100 for my campaign account, and I did. So I'm assuming that's how we're doing it in our region. and there aren't a lot of expenses associated with doing this.
I'm going to supply box lunches. I mean, we've logistics is always a difficult component of this because each region some are more geographically spread out than others, and so we've spoken to Senate Council, we've spoken to OCPF. In some places we've got our regional transit